Hello people, it's Heracles, and today in this video I will be talking to you about how the new kingdom of ancient Egypt ended. First of all, the new kingdom of Egypt was known as the Egyptian Empire, which was founded in the 16th century BC, or 1550 years BC. Ahmose was the first pharaoh of the new kingdom and the founder of that era. The new kingdom of Egypt is made up of many states, such as Egypt, Sudan, Israel, Palestine, Jordan, Lebanon, and even Syria. During that era there were many warrior pharaohs, such as Thutmose III, Tutankhamun, and even Ramesses II. Tutankhamun was the son of Akhenaten, the heretic pharaoh, and was named the Boy King. The reason why was that he came to the throne when he was just 9 years old. Sadly, Tutankhamun died when he was just 19 years old, without leaving any descendants. After the short reign of the pharaoh A, Horemheb, who was the commander of the Egyptian army in ancient Egypt, came to the throne and proclaimed himself pharaoh. After the reign of the pharaoh Horemheb, the vizier Ramesses I came to the throne, and he is the founder of the Ramesside dynasty. In addition, he is the grandfather of Ramesses II, the great pharaoh of the new kingdom. Ramesses II came to the throne at around 23 years old, and after the death of his father, Ramesses II went to battle in Kadesh, which is nowadays modern-day Syria. Although Ramesses II defeated the Hittite army, he signed a peace treaty with the Hittites, and therefore the Hittites and the Egyptians became friends. Ramesses II was called Ramesses the Great. The reason why was that he built more monuments than his predecessors. He commanded the largest army of the entire empire, and he lived 90 years, which means he ruled Egypt for over half a century, or in other words, 67 years. Now I am going to talk to you about how the Egyptian empire fell down. After the death of Ramesses II, it was unlikely that the Egyptian economy would last forever. After the death of Ramesses II, the people of Egypt didn't know what to do, and without a powerful king, a pharaoh as great as Ramesses II, Egypt was not able to survive. Egypt's worst enemy was the Sea People. These pirates managed to destroy the powerful Hittite Empire. Now, with its greatest ally gone, Egypt was vulnerable. As Egypt lost more allies, there was less trade, and Egypt's economy began to weaken. In my opinion, the Sea People were people who came from Troy, which is nowadays northwest modern-day Turkey. Or the Sea People were the people who fled the Mycenaean civilization. The Mycenaean civilization came to an end during the 13th century BC. The other factor which caused Egypt's downfall was that the successors of Ramesses II, that means the new pharaohs, expected the same standard of craftsmanship from their builders as during the reign of a great king. However, they did not have the means to finance these great works. In other words, they tried to recreate the might of the deceased pharaoh, Ramesses II. In other words, there were tensions and frustrations among the Egyptians administrations. Promises were made and then broken. Promises were made and then forgotten. And as usual, the people were suffering. During the reign of Ramesses III, the great-great-great-grandson of Ramesses II, the kingdom weakened and went broke. Although Ramesses III was a charismatic and powerful pharaoh, he was not able to save Egypt from destruction. While Ramesses III was living comfortably in the palace, the royal palace, with his wives, servants, and children as well, his people were suffering. He didn't know or didn't care about the misery of his people. He was living comfortably while his people were dying from starvation. Just take a look at this map. This was how the Egyptian Empire was during the reign of Ramesses II. Now, here is how the Egyptian Empire was during the reign of Ramesses III. The other factor which caused the new kingdom to tumble was that the people were not being paid. They protested and they went on strike, and they wondered why they were not being paid. All they needed was oil, fish, vegetables, and meat. They did not protest for long. In addition, they went to the Valley of the Kings in search for treasures in order to pay their bills. And guess what they did? They went in the sacred burial chambers and they desecrated the pharaohs of the new kingdom. Even the tomb of Ramesses the Great did not escape desecration. In addition, the robbers of the tombs were workers who built the tombs and the burial chambers and the monuments of Egypt. Now they took away the treasures and the golden objects which were meant to help the pharaohs in the afterlife, according to the Egyptian religion. The priests of the temples had to do a sorry duty, which was taking 42 royal mummies and they buried them in the mountainside, where they would rest for thousands of years. The robbers who were caught plundering the pharaoh's sacred burial chambers, they were tried and they were sentenced to the most gruesome execution, which was impalement. They were impaled alive on a sharp stake. The last pharaoh of the new kingdom was Ramesses XI. Less than 2 centuries after the end of the reign of Ramesses II, the great empire of Egypt had fallen, and by the time Ramesses XI died in 1077 years BC, the Ramesside dynasty became extinct, and therefore the new kingdom was over. Well guys, this is the end of the video where I spoke about the end of the new kingdom of Egypt. I really hope that the information I provided was useful, especially for you, the people who study history. Anyways, thanks for watching and I shall see you soon. Goodbye!